A family stand against injustice. On a warm Saturday afternoon, the Carter family cruised down Interstate 85 in their SUV, heading toward a lake house retreat in Georgia. James Carter, a seasoned attorney with a calm, piercing gaze, tapped the steering wheel to the rhythm of classic rock. His wife, Diane, a community organizer with a knack for defusing tension, laughed as their kids, Emma and Noah, bickered playfully in the back seat. The promise of a weekend unplugged from the grind felt like a rare gift. But as they passed a faded billboard, red and blue lights flashed in the rearview mirror, and a siren's wail sliced through their joy. What began as a routine traffic stop would ignite a firestorm, exposing deep-rooted injustice and testing the strength of a family determined to fight back. Officer Daniel Hayes, a cop with a reputation for heavy-handed tactics, approached the Carters' vehicle with a scowl. His mirrored sunglasses reflected James's steady expression, but his tone dripped with disdain. License and registration. He barked, his voice carrying an edge that felt personal. James, ever composed, handed over the documents. "May I ask why we were stopped, officer?" he asked, his words measured but firm. Hayes smirked. "Routine check. You in a hurry?" Diane leaned forward, her voice polite but resolute. "We're just taking our kids for a family weekend." Hayes's eyes lingered on the word family, as if it offended him. Without warning, he ordered James out of the car. "Step out. Now." The air grew thick with tension. Diane's heart raced as she whispered to Emma and Noah, "It's okay, stay calm." But Emma, perceptive beyond her 12 years, whispered back, "Why's he so mad, Mom?" Diane had no easy answer. Outside, James stood tall, his lawyer's instincts kicking in. Hayes's demand to search the vehicle was met with a polite but unwavering refusal. "That won't be necessary, officer. There's no probable cause." Hayes's face reddened, his authority challenged. A small crowd began to gather, motorists slowing to watch, some pulling out phones to record. Among them was Sarah Miller, a local reporter sensing a story that could shake the town. As the standoff intensified, James's calm resolve clashed with Hayes's escalating aggression. "You're making this harder than it needs to be," Hayes sneered, his hand inching toward his holster. James didn't flinch. "I'm exercising my rights. This is a family trip, nothing more." The crowd grew, their murmurs a quiet rebellion against the unfolding injustice. Sarah's camera captured every word, every gesture, her instincts telling her this was bigger than a traffic stop. Just as the situation teetered on the edge, a second police cruiser pulled up. Sergeant Michael Brooks, a veteran with a no-nonsense demeanor, stepped out. "What's going on here, Hayes?" he demanded, his eyes scanning the scene. Hayes's bravado faltered as he stammered through an explanation. Brooks, sensing the crowd's unrest and the cameras rolling, turned to James. "Mr. Carter, I apologize for the inconvenience. You're free to go." James nodded, shaking Brooks's hand, a gesture heavy with unspoken gratitude. As the Carters drove off, Diane squeezed James's hand. "You were incredible," she said, pride in her voice. James's eyes stayed on the road. "We did what we had to for our family and for what's right." But the encounter left a mark. Emma's question lingered. "Why was he so angry, Dad?" James's answer was heavy with truth. "Some people fear what they don't understand, sweetheart. But real power comes from knowing who you are and standing by it." Back in their Atlanta suburb, the Carters couldn't shake the incident. It wasn't just about them, it was a symptom of a deeper rot. Sarah's article, published that evening, went viral, detailing the stop with a headline that struck a nerve. "A family's ordeal exposes systemic bias." The story spread, igniting outrage and sparking conversations in diners, barbershops, and living rooms. At a community meeting in a local church, voices rose, elders like Martha Green, who'd seen too much injustice, and young activists like Kevin Lee, hungry for change. "This isn't new," Martha said, her voice weathered but fierce. "But it's time we stopped letting it slide." Meanwhile, Officer Hayes faced consequences, or so it seemed. Suspended pending investigation, he retreated to a precinct office, his resentment simmering. Behind closed doors, Deputy Chief Robert Langley, a cunning operator with ties to the city's elite, gathered loyalists to contain the fallout. "Hayes's mess is exposing cracks we've hidden for years," Langley hissed. "We need to control the narrative, redirect the public's anger." Their plan was insidious, stage community events to feign reform while quietly undermining real change. But the Carters and their allies had other plans. Diane, fueled by her organizing experience, rallied neighbors at a local barbershop owned by Ray Thompson, a community pillar. Over the hum of clippers, stories of similar encounters poured out, each one a thread in a tapestry of resistance. James, meanwhile, connected with Laura Bennett, a civil rights attorney, and Eric Foster, a former cop turned whistleblower. Eric's bombshell came late one night, a flash drive containing internal emails revealing Langley's scheme to derail reform. "This is your leverage," Eric said, handing it to James. "Use it." The Carters didn't hesitate. They organized a town hall at the community center, inviting residents, officials, and the press. The room buzzed with anticipation as Diane took the stage, her voice unwavering. "This isn't just about one stop, it's about a system that's failed us all." James followed, projecting the damning emails for all to see. Gasps filled the room as Langley's words exposed a web of deception. "We're here to heal through action," James declared. "We demand transparency, oversight, and accountability now." The crowd roared, a wave of solidarity washing over them. Councilman David Perry, once a fence-sitter, stood among the crowd, his resolve hardening. "I hear you," he said, pledging to champion reform. The town hall marked a turning point. Task forces were formed to audit police practices, civic workshops educated residents on their rights, and media partnerships amplified the cause. Sarah's ongoing coverage kept the pressure on, her stories reaching national audiences. Even Emma and Noah joined in, their school projects on justice earning praise from teachers and peers. Weeks later, the city square glowed with celebration. New laws were signed, independent oversight boards, transparency mandates, and community-led policing reforms. Perry, flanked by the Carters, called it a new chapter for our city. Diane's speech soared. "This is a beacon for every community, proof that change comes when we stand together." Fireworks lit the sky, a symbol of victory and vigilance. As the Carters stood with their children, their journey from a single act of defiance to a movement felt completely a legacy of resilience etched into their city's soul. The Carters' fight wasn't just a story, it was a call to action. What do you think about their stand against injustice? Have you witnessed or experienced similar struggles with authority or systemic bias? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss how we confront these issues in our lives. Your voice matters, so take a stand and join the conversation.